Hello and welcome back to The Void. I know when it comes to uploads and streaming lately, I've been a bit inconsistent, especially lately. Um, but I do want to talk about that, as well as what I've been going through lately. This video is going to be on about behind the VTuber you see, as well as a bit of a cry for help to the rest of the world, or you can even just see this as a rant. It's a lot of things, but I do feel like this is all important to know. There are a lot of things about myself I've kept pretty quiet, mostly for my own safety and privacy. However, I don't want to keep hiding parts of myself. And with the way the United States has been going lately, I've had to hide much more than I ever did before. For full disclosure, things I'm about to talk about, they may put me in danger. And I'm taking a massive risk just by making and posting this video. I am not trying to fearmonger, incite violence, or commit any kind of harm, nor will I ever try to take my own life. You hear otherwise, that is false, and I was silenced for speaking out. You do not have to watch this video. And there will be several heavy topics and things that may be triggering for you, including things about US politics and the LGBT community, among other things. With that, let's get started. So, to begin with, I do live in the United States. In Texas, actually, which is one of the most conservative states in my country. I do not live alone. I have a partner that I love very much, and we've been together very happily for over 4 years. So far, you may be thinking at this point, okay, that's cool, I guess. I thought Tam was single, but that's not too weird. But this is where things start to reveal some issues. I am gender fluid, and I've been on estrogen for nearly a year now. I look pretty androgynous, or to a lot of people here, confusing. Also known as trans. My partner isn't exactly cisgendered either. They look visually female, but they have a semi-masculine short haircut. And they're Colombian. We are I always struggle with this word. It's a lot easier to type than it is to say. Ambimorous, meaning we're polyamorous. Ambiambers, there we go. Meaning that we're both polyamorous but are just as happy in a monogamous relationship. And my partner was born in the United States and have been a citizen their whole lives. With the current laws in play, and laws that are trying to be passed, we are both in increasing danger. I will not go into specifically what laws there are, but it is not difficult to find this information for yourself from other sources. We are both in minority categories that are putting us at risk, and people here are getting more and more aggressive. My mental health has been severely impacted and has made content creation incredibly stressful and difficult. I'm afraid to go outside of my home, to wear clothes that I want. I'm even afraid to go into public bathrooms now, because at least in Texas, I don't know if other states are following suit or not, but several laws and actions have been taken here where the state is taking is ugh, where the state is keeping track of who is trans, and people are being encouraged to photograph and report anyone they suspect of being trans inside of bathrooms. As of this moment, it has not been revealed exactly what they're planning to do with this information. And recently, ICE has been taking more and more people off the streets, regardless of whether they are illegal immigrants or if they are citizens. And sometimes, only sometimes are those citizens being released. Close to a third of the people sent to a particular ICE detention center have just vanished, with ICE claiming they just lost them. People who were sent to a detention center and were not deported just disappeared. It is terrifying to be here right now. I've seen multiple social media creators that have been talking about these kinds of things where the FBI or CIA have shown up to their houses to question them about this. I will say again, I am not trying to incite any kind of violence, destruction of public property, or to spread fear. I am simply spreading information that I have seen, some of which I've experienced or seen firsthand. ICE has been seen in several places where both my family and my partner's family live. ICE is starting to say ID and birth certificates do not prove that you are a citizen. And Antifa has been labeled a terrorist organization, which is not an organization at all. It just stands for people who are anti-fascist. So for that to even be attempted to be labeled as treasonous in any form is very telling. Our trans community is being villainized and attacked, as well as diversity in general, with any kind of people of color being deported and detained or detained with next to no proof at times. I have been living in fear, not only for myself, but for my partner and fellow people. This is not the end of this line. This president will not stop when the people of color are gone. He will not stop when trans people are gone. This is a repeat of World War II, and it's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying that when presented with the evidence of how similar our current president's actions are to Hitler, many of his conservative base are saying maybe we fought on the wrong side of the war. That is the state of the United States of America right now. This was supposed to be the land of the free. I was told as a child that this was the best country in the world. That no matter where you came from, who you are, or the color of your skin, that if you worked hard, you could and would succeed here. But now, this is a country that, despite being the economic backbone of the entire world, does not have universal health care. That has such an immensely large group of homeless people that suffers both from an obesity epidemic as well as having thousands of people who are starving. I want to love the country I come from, but every day it gets harder. This society is on the brink of collapse. Democracy in the United States may soon be gone. With my partner making over 50,000 USD a year, we can barely afford a 2-bedroom apartment. And I've had to take on another job. This economy is collapsing. Minimum wage is not enough to live on at all. It hasn't for years. I don't even know how long. It is likely impossible that I will ever live in a house that I own. In my lifetime, I was promised incredible progress and that life would become easier. Instead, I've seen the world become infinitely more cruel, ruthless, and isolating. The internet has rotted our brains. The COVID pandemic stole the last years of my childhood. I witnessed Roe v. Wade be revoked. The first time in the United States a human right was removed from our Constitution. I have seen racism and sexism return with a vengeance. History being made by the first felon to become president. My country's checks and balances are being ignored and falling apart. I should not have to be living in fear. I should be able to easily support myself. I have friends in the queer community, the trans community, and even in other countries. I do not have a very large following. I don't have a large following at all. But I hope that this will be shared, because this is getting ridiculous, and the world needs to know what is happening here. My life has never been easy, but now it gets harder every day to be myself in a place that is actively trying to exterminate me and the people I love. However, we must all remember we can do something. We are not helpless. We are never helpless. We as humans have so much power to change the world around us. And yes, sometimes people use that for terrible things, which is why we're in this situation. But that doesn't mean we can't use our influence to make good things happen, which is exactly why I'm making this. I'm doing my part to share this information, to show I care, that I'm not just going to sit here and accept this attack on me and everything I love. I can't do much on my own, but I want everyone to know what I'm facing and how this is impacting me as well as other people. There's even more happening in this country, but it's all happening so fast I can't keep up. And I don't want to mention things that they are trying to pass, because I don't want to paint a false image. But this is not the end. They do have plans. And for people who are like me and people that aren't, this is only getting scarier every day. This is a risk, making this video. But it is a risk I feel I must take. Even if I am shaking and afraid of what might happen to me because of this, I need to say it. You can make a difference. You can save lives. You can shine. And with that, I will see you stars later.